So line L is parallel to line M when the value of x is blank. And then we have the two equations at the left of line L and line M to solve the degrees for that. So to have those two lines parallel, we just have to have those two degrees be equal. So we do that by doing 6x minus 63 equals 4x minus 3. And then we simplify that down until we get x equals 30, and there's your answer. So for number 2, we have to find the slope through line -2, 3, and 1, 1. So to do that, we have to use the slope equation, which is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So we plug that in with 1, 1 being the x and y sub 2, and -2, 3 being the x and y sub 1. So it would be 1 minus 3 over 1 plus 2, and we get -2 over 3. For number 3, we have to find what two specifications make line A and line B parallel. So A wouldn't be true because 3 and 5 are supplementary. B actually works out, so we're going to check that for now and see if the other ones work out or not. C, the angle of 4 and angle of 2 are supplementary, so that's not the answer either. And for D, line angle 3 and angle 2 being the same doesn't affect line B, so they can't be parallel just because of that. So the only answer left is B, so that's your answer. For number 4, we're given that if negotiations fail, the baseball strike will not end. And if the baseball strike does not end, the World Series will not be played. So we have to draw a conclusion from this statement and find out which of these is true. So to do that, we use the transitive property. If A equals B and B equals C, then A also equals C. So our A is if negotiations fail, our B is the baseball strike will not end, and our C, the World Series will not be played. So we have to make A and C equal, which would make the sentence, if negotiations fail, the World Series will not be played. Okay, number 5 gives us a visual, and it asks, George used decorative fencing to enclose his deck. Using the information on the diagram and assuming the top and bottom are parallel, the measure of angle x is what? And so to solve that, we just have to realize that the 50 at the bottom and the x have to be equal for the top and bottom to be parallel. So we simply make x equals the same as the bottom angle, which is 50. For number 6, we're given a graph with a shape A, B, C, D, E, and then a transformation of that shape. And we have to find out A, B, C, or D, which one of these is true. So a 180 clockwise rotation of A, B, C, D, E about the origin wouldn't be true, because that would leave it in the 4th quadrant. B works out. If you reflect A, B, C, D, E, you'll have it there in the 3rd quadrant like that. C, if we translate it across the x-axis, then it's going to be in the 1st quadrant at the top right. And same for D, if you reflect it across the y-axis. So our only answer is B, and that's the right answer. Number 7 gives us line L and line M, and we have to find out what value for those 2 degrees will show that the 2 lines are parallel. So if you remember in number 1, both of those equations had to be equal. So again, we're going to do 2x plus 30 equals 4x minus 90. Solve for x, which gives us 60. That's your answer. 8 provides us with a Venn diagram and asks us which one of these is true. We have the sample of football players, and then the 2 sets are offense and defense. So letter A says all football players play offense or defense. And that's not true because the sample size is outside of those 2 sets, so there can be some that don't play either. B says all football players play defense. Well, that's not true because we have an offense set on there. C says some football players play offense and defense, and that's right because the 2 sets mix make the Venn diagram. So check that, and let's look at letter D. No football players play offense or defense. And that's not true either because the middle set shows that, yes, they both can play offense and defense. So our only answer is C. That's the answer. 9 gives us this figure that basically looks like a stick with a triangle at the top left of it, and asks us, which of the following is a rotation in the plane of the given figure? So we're given A, B, C, D, which are all different transformations. A and B couldn't be correct because to get that, we have to do multiple different transformations and can't just rotate it. C, if you rotate it counterclockwise 90 degrees, then you'll get that figure. So check that. And D, to get that, you have to reflect it across the y-axis. So the only answer is C. Lastly, number 10 asks us which triangle is a 180-degree rotation about the origin of triangle ABC. So we need to look at ABC at the first quadrant and find out which one of these down here, A, B, C, or D, is true. JKL would be true because if you rotate it 180 degrees, then you're going to get that figure. B, M and O is just a translation across the y-axis. C, D, E, F is just a reflection in the first quadrant. And D is only a 90-degree rotation. So all we have that's correct is A, and that's the answer.